Hey, this is Danny Bird.
Hey, this is Boo.
Hey guys, a little sound here.
Hey yo, you know it is. It's your boy X, man. You're locked into drum and bass radio.
This is Mosey.
This is
Shotta.
This is DJ. Hi. You're listening to the great Laurie Charlesworth on drum and bass radio. Keep it locked.
Hello, hi, and welcome back to Drum and Bass Radio. Now today is a very special episode of D&B Radio. We are celebrating all of the incredible MCs in the D&B scene, a load of which I may or may not have on the show today. I'm joking, I do. There's loads of them. It's going to be a biggie. My name is Laurie Charlesworth, and trust me, I have been so excited for this episode for a long, long time. Follow the show. If you haven't done it already, tag us in your stories if you are loving the vibes, and get ready for track number 1. This is Zuki with Like That. Zuki and Alea May with Like That, and we're in. Welcome back, people. This is Drum and Bass Radio. My name is Laurie Charlesworth. Welcome back. And as I said, today is a very special episode. We are celebrating MC culture within drum and bass. Now listen up. This is not, I repeat, it is not an educational piece. You will hear pieces of history in this episode. There will be common themes as well, obvious pioneers, but this is purely a bit of fun. We're just putting a spotlight on all of the amazing MC talent within this scene. We're giving them a little big up. They deserve it. really trying to hold it down on this one. The levels of excitement are exceptionally high because I have a banging lineup of guests on the show today. Incoming Slay and Yzer, two newish MCs that are smashing it right now. We've got Evil B, Shabba, Harry Shotta and Phantasy big incoming very, very soon. I've also got Lady MC, one of the first ever female MCs in D&B. And last but by no means least, we have the Ragga Twins. Yes, the absolutely legendary MCs in both sound system culture and drum and bass. We had to get them on. We hope you enjoy this episode. Let us know if you do. And quick announcement, you can now listen to Drum and Bass Radio on all other platforms. It's what we've all been waiting for. And now this includes Apple Music, Amazon, Alexa. Go looking on any platform and you'll find it. Plus, we'll also be doing special edition interviews on the D&B All Stars YouTube page, starting with this one. Go check it out. Alright, are you ready to celebrate the shenanigans? We are going in with a new one from Yzer, yes we are, and a little one from Alchemist to follow, and then yes, we are straight into our MC special. Okay, are you ready? Let's go. This is Yzer and DJ Limited with Fall Down on Me.
Join our crew and stay up to date by hitting the follow button so you can keep up to date with every episode and be notified when the next episode is released.
I'm feeling so lonely. I wish you would come over. I wish you.
Fluty, but with a twist. Alchemist on the remix of Mon's Big Stuff. Okay, are you ready to kickstart our big MC special? Are you ready? Good, let's go. Now, MCs have been an integral part of the D&B scene ever since its inception. From the influence of sound system culture and pioneers like Navigator, Top Cat, Ragga Twins, Skibba, Shabba, Stevie Hyper D, to Trigger, X-Man, Evil B, IC3 and so many more, bringing energy to our raves, to Chickaboo and Lady MC, paving the way for females in drum and bass, to the more soulful side, the hosting, DRS, Degs, SBMC, Vision Obi, Tempsa, to Bellyman's Car Bars, to Harry Shotta smashing Eminem's Guinness World Record, to newcomers like Yzer and Grimer, Maddie V and Yzer doing their thing. There are way too many names to mention, but today we celebrate all of them in their energetic glory. But first, we must go back, we must set the scene. My first interview is with a duo absolutely regarded as pioneers in MC culture. They rose to fame in the early 90s, hailing proudly from Hackney in East London, introducing the one and only Ragga Twins. Hello, Ragga Twins, or one of. Hello, Trevor.
Yes, Flinty Badman, Trevor, yeah.
It's really great to have you here. I was dead keen to get you on the show for this episode in particular. It was really important to me. So when you said yes, I was very excited. So thank you for being here. Obviously, today is an MC special. We're celebrating MC culture within drum and bass.
Okay.
I'm interested to know a lot from you. And I'm a bit gutted that it's quite a short segment, but from your perspective, can you kind of tell me a little bit about the development of MC culture within drum and bass and how it was influenced by other genres right at the start?
Yeah, well, it was influenced definitely by reggae DJs. In that day, DJs were the MCs with the mic. So definitely that influence. And it was people like myself, my brother, Navigator, who brought it into jungle. Tenafly, Top Cat, General Levy, all brought that style into jungle and started doing it over jungle beats. So that started to become a thing, and it got into the rave culture, and that mixed with the jungle music, that made the whole scene like a big jungle scene. Like you had the music and you had the artists, you know, and then it developed over a time into drum and bass. As jungle developed into drum and bass, the new school MCs just took that culture into drum and bass as well and carried it on. And now you've got all different style of MCs, you know. I mean, you did have host MCs back in the day, but not as many as you've got now. But yeah, the whole variety of MCs, you know. So yeah, that's how it influenced, straight from reggae.
Yeah,
definitely straight from reggae.
Wicked. Would you say your style has changed like over the years, or like did you because you obviously didn't start in jungle, did you? You're like legendary business way back.
Yeah, our style it's changed a little bit, but not that much, you know. But our style is reggae style, so the fast talking jungle D&B MCs, I think reggae artists was doing that, but no one wasn't doing that on jungle. And the likes of MC Det, Shabba, they brought that kind of fast rapping thing onto, and then obviously Skibba, rest in peace.
Yeah.
And then the rest of them started doing, but they all still do a bit of reggae in there. You know, they all drop a little reggae style in between themselves. Although they're doing that fast stuff, yeah, they still, you know, drop a little reggae flow. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Do you think that's like a little nod to like the culture, the history of it? Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, wicked. So obviously, like I just said, you guys have been very instrumental in the development of kind of UK dance music. You're very legendary. What's kept you like in this for so long?
Well, first of all, we love doing it, so we always perform to our best to keep ourselves relevant, you know, and also by making music, you know, making records that, you know, that sell and keeping yourself current.
Yeah.
You know, and obviously, you know, the music evolves and we're going to get new artists coming up and they're going to be the next big thing. But you know, if you keep doing your thing and pleasing your fans, then you'll always be about, you know. So that's how we do it. You know what I mean?
So is there anyone that you can think of that you love and rate in the scene right now, or anyone that we've lost as well, like just any MCs that you really rate?
Well, I rate all the old school MCs, definitely. You know, everybody knows their names: Navigator, Moose, you know, GQ, Shabba, Skibadee, IC3.
Yes.
All us guys were the early generation. MC Deck, you know, we were the early generation, and you know, I rate them guys, and they're still going like us. You know, they're still doing their thing just like us.
Yeah.
Getting booked up and down the country. So, you know, and then you know, you've got the new school ones like Funster, X-Man, Batman D, you know, Evil B.
Yeah.
And there's loads. I rate a lot of them. You know.
Yeah.
There's you know, everybody's doing their thing for the scene and keeping it healthy. You know what I mean? So everybody's playing their part. There's, you know, there's obviously there's a lot of up and comers, and they're not up to the standard yet. But we're gonna need them, because if nobody's coming from behind, then after we're all gone, who's gonna be there? So you know, you need up and comers to do their thing and work hard, and you know, get to a level where we all are at, just to keep this thing going, man. When I'm gone, we need the people coming through. So yeah, but our inspiration is definitely from reggae days, you know. Yeah. And it will be like D-Man's biggest inspiration was a guy called Josie Wells, a Jamaican artist. And mine was my biggest inspiration in reggae was Lieutenant Stitchie, another reggae artist. But there's a lot of them over there also that we rated and we listened to. You know, it wouldn't just be one, but them two would be the two that would stand out for us.
Yeah, cool. Just going back to the new school MCs coming through as well. I know you probably get this quite a lot, and some of the other MCs that I've interviewed have been like, we hear this literally all the time, but is there any advice that you could give to up and coming MCs? Like, the
biggest thing is to be humble. The biggest thing, be humble and just work on your craft, and you know, you don't want to be sounding like, we always say you don't want to be sounding like somebody else. Yeah. So when someone's, all right, say somebody was blind, they can't see, and they hear this person, you want the blind person to know that's you. Yeah. You know, that's what you want. You know, if the blind person has to start thinking, is that, then you're sounding like somebody else. So get your own style and, you know, make sure you sound like different from everybody else.
All right, last but not least, this show is dedicated to Skibba, who we very sadly lost last year. Do you have any memories or a memory that you can share of or with him? That springs to mind.
Skibba, we went loads of places with Skibba, up and down the country, but the best times that I had with Skibba was when we was doing Innovation in the Sun.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the best time that I had with Skibba, you know, because when we're out here, he lived in South, we live in East. We wasn't really connected like that. We'd only see each other at the weekends. But for Innovation in the Sun, for it to be like a 4 or 5 day chilling, and you're seeing each other every day, that would be the best times we'd have with him, and he'll jump on the sets with us and we'll do our thing, you know what I mean? So
When you hear my rough neck sound and for your sound it
pretty and pink. Come listen them, yeah, you call your nose so we stink. And when we draw a doublet, you have to start think. We fling all the television and kitchen sinks, so we kill a sound, and we kill a sound. We kill a sound, and we kill a sound. We kill a sound, and we kill a sound. When we kill a sound, say the sound and go down. Sound and go down. Sound and go down. Crowd of people listen me carefully. Them say that some of them sound white, they favor monkey, favor orangutan or a chimpanzee. Oh no, say where you want, but me disagree. Me feel say them favor boom boom in a agony. Boy, raise out the dance and go wash your body. The odor from your body could wake a cemetery, and the smell of your foot it can kill a baby. We kill a sound, and we kill a sound. We kill a sound, and we kill a sound. We kill a sound, and we kill a sound. When we kill a sound, say the sound and go down. When we kill a sound, say the sound and go down. When we kill a sound, say the sound and go down. Boy, you to outer order. Shooting off your motor, talk about the rocker. Look how me live good and you live like beggar. Get out of here, you little tramping fella. Your clothes need a wash, your body need a shower. You come and dance, I'll talk about you a murder. But when you say I'm an amplifier, and me turntable and me mixer, me dub plate box it full of dub plate, and then the people them can't even wait. Them want see you get chopped down, want see you dead. But when you play my sound, you run for your life because we kill a sound, and we kill a sound. We kill a sound, and we kill a sound. We kill a sound, and we kill a sound. When we kill a sound, say the sound and go down. Oh yes, the Ragga Twins them and they killing feel. And some boy coming up and put up his shield. But when they make them dub place, they have to reveal. At that time, you know him get strip and peel. Me dub place drop it, they pull up on the wheel. You dub place drop everybody run out because your sound is soft. You know we are the boss. We kill any sound to rust the blood clot. We have to kill us some boy tonight. We have to kill us some boy tonight. We have to kill us some boy tonight. When we kill us some boy, them a go out table like chat. We kill a sound, and we kill a sound. We kill a sound, and we kill a sound. We kill a sound, and we kill a sound. When we kill a sound, say the sound and go down. Kill a sound, say the sound and go down.
Please make sure to hit that follow button to stay updated on our latest episodes.
it and the king in the ring. Fly to the hero with a Bruce Lee skin. Kick to your back and me say come to your chin. One jungle sound, this a song it have to win. Big up my junglers. Come on, boy.
History.
Yes, Navigator, Rankin Joe, Junglist Sound, Serial Killers on the remix. Okay, so from setting the scene to brilliant new school talent up next. Introducing Slay. Now, we've played Slay a few times on the show. He's done some wicked bits with Lensman and Kazra. I love him. He's made a bit of a name for himself over in grime as well as D&B. He is Manchester, born and bred. He won an EA Sports competition with some friends known as Mayhem Crew back in the day, and they made a music video which kind of cemented Slay's name in grime in Manchester. We have loved having this guy's voice on the show through his music, and it is a pleasure to have him on the episode today. Here he is, here's Slay. Hello Slay, how are you?
Hey, good. I'm good, thank you.
Apart from your hurting ribs. From
yeah.
Thank you for being here. I just said, like, it's really important that we've got like a full range of brilliant MCs on the show, like old school MCs, people rising up. So yeah, really appreciate that you're here, as you've been killing it, and I just love your sound and your vibe. So yeah, thank you for being here.
Oh, thanks for having me as well, and thank you for the kind words.
Oh, good. So today we're celebrating MC culture and MC talent in drum and bass. This includes yourself. Basically, it's 2 hours of bigging up MCs in the scene. That's basically what we're doing.
Yep.
Looking back at the history of drum and bass, how did drum and bass MCs, in your opinion, help shape D&B into being what it is today? I know it's a big question.
I feel like it's one of them where it's like, it's not, you can't have drum and bass without MCs kind of thing with me. So like, it's like, it stems from the culture of a sound system, having decks and a mixer and a mic. So without the MCs, to me, it's almost not drum and bass. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's a different thing. It's a different thing inside.
Yeah, totally agree with you. Yeah, they just bring like the energy and the flavour. Why do you think it's important that MC culture and talent is kind of nurtured within drum and bass? Like, why is it important that it's something that we look after and we do, you know, we praise and put in the spotlight?
Because like I was saying about it all being one thing like that, it's like, it's not just drum and bass and then there's MC separately and we come and get involved. It's all one thing in it. So everyone needs to, if you're an artist, you need to feel valued. Do you know what I mean? So it's important to make MCs know that, because even me, like personally, I got in the scene, I felt like sort of like the MC is like the lowest thing to be in drum and bass, you know what I mean? And I'm like, why is that when we do just as much work as anybody else in it? So it's very important to maybe, like, I don't know, I don't need it. I don't need someone to tell me that, whatever. Do you know what I mean? But yeah. I feel like some people would love to feel a bit more appreciated. So it's definitely important to nurture the talent, make sure we look after the talent so that more big songs can happen, more producers can collab with people. Like, producers love when you get in the studio with an MC. So I don't know who actually doesn't like MCs, really. I just think it's like a cool thing to say, but everyone actually loves us. Do you know what I mean?
I agree with you, because it doesn't matter whether it's like a rave or tracks or I don't know. And even the people that say, oh, I don't like MCs, or that let the music breathe. Shut up. They love it. They love it. And they're still singing along to you on tracks and stuff.
Exactly.
So yeah, they don't mean that. Something that I really want this show to be is, you know, not only just to big up the MCs that we've lost. Obviously the show is dedicated to Skibba, but something when I was thinking about it was that I want to also give people their flowers here. Like, you know, people that we have with us, I want people to, you know, hear that other MCs rate them and stuff. I think it's important. So who do you rate? Who inspires you and why?
I rate a lot of people, but in terms of inspiring, I'm going to say two people from my hometown. I'm going to say Trigger, because when I was growing up, he was like the only big MC from Manchester that I knew. Like, before MCing was like a thing, before grime and that stuff. So like, I have to say Trigger, because his flow is still used today. You can go to a rave and hear an MC and you're like, there's Trigger in here. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, Trigger definitely. And then DRS is a bit more recent, do you know what I mean? Because DRS like kind of made it less hosty for me. You made it a bit more, yeah, we can say some stuff, do you know what I mean? Rather than it just being hype. So yeah, them two definitely inspire me because they're from the city, do you know what I mean? So
yeah, I love your lot up there. Manchester's like the most beautiful little place. And Trigger, SDC, 4 a.m, little scatty jump up raves.
Yeah, you have to love it, innit?
I love it. I absolutely loved it. So the last thing that I want to ask you, Slay, like I said before, this show is dedicated to Skibba, who we very sadly lost this time last year. How did Skibba inspire you as an artist? And do you have memories or like a little memory that you can share with us, either with him or something about him?
I never got to meet Skibba. Do you know what I mean? Like, I kind of got on the scene a little bit late, but I think it's important for like up and coming people to know that even though I never met him, I understand that I've been inspired by him without even knowing certain things you do on the mic, certain things you say on the mic. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
The OGs, they like didn't have anyone else to follow, so they like set the blueprint. Do you know what I mean? So if you're MCing on drum and bass, whether you like it or not, you're inspired by these guys. Do you know what I mean? So it's always good to show appreciation. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, R.I.P. Skibba, man.
Let me know, I feel it in my soul. And if you don't feel it too, then please just let it go. At first you had me falling like some snow. Now my heartbeat is turning freezing, feeling like some snow. R.I.P. Black Rob, you know she got me like, whoa. Tell me what's the vibe, can we go or can we grow? Let me know, but now you'll find me shutting down a show. DJ, don't stop the rhythm, let it roll, let it roll, let it roll. Are we a ting or are we only friends? Is this a permanent role or are we only temps? And they say love is blind, somebody show me sense. This feeling should be so immense, maybe this is too intense. Hey, I don't know, maybe it's wait, that's another flow. You got me confused, shall we give this another go? What's the vibe? Let me know, let me know, let me know.
Tell me what's the vibe. Tell me what's the vibe, yeah.
It's been a long time, you've had me standing outside. Now it's getting kinda cold, come and tell me what's the vibe.
Tell me what's the vibe. Tell me what's the vibe. Tell me what's the vibe, yeah.
I said it's been a long time, you've had me standing outside. Now it's getting kinda cold, come and tell me what's the vibe. Hey, I said your vibe's captivating. Thought you'd never catch me waiting, but your love's locked down, babe. And I'm willing to break it, no faking or mistaking. I think we could have a great thing, so chill and stop debating. That's a lot of time and energy to be wasting. I run quite fast, but I ain't good at chasing. So let me know, are you solid, are you flaking? Are we really at it, are you ready to be taken? Tell me what's the vibe, what's the vibe? Tell me what's the vibe? What's the vibe?
Tell me what's the vibe. Oh, tell me what's the vibe, yeah.
It's been a long time, you've had me standing outside. Now it's getting kinda cold, come and tell me what's the vibe.
Tell me what's the vibe. Tell me what's the vibe. Tell me what's the vibe, yeah.
I said it's been a long time, you've had me standing outside. Now it's getting kinda cold, come and tell me what's the vibe.
Now you've been patiently waiting for me. I promise never meant to leave you lonely, but I've been a little apprehensive. The last boy did me dirty, it was hectic. But believe me, it's worth the wait. Just let me know that you're here to stay. Don't waste my time, I ain't gotta lie. You better act right if you get the shot. But now I'm done with the games. I see you really for play, and you're talking that talk that I like. Baby, let's roll, pick me up tonight. Oh, me and you, all of the things we gonna do. Yeah, I know you're feeling my vibe, so I'ma tell you what's the vibe,
Tell me what's the vibe. Tell me what's the vibe.
Yo, what's happening? You're listening to Laurie C on Drum and Bass Radio, brought to you by Evil B, aka Rick James, bitch. No, not really.
Yes.
Edit it.
No, that's perfect.
Edit it.
That's what I want.
All right.
Today I woke up breathing, functional with feeling, and for that I got a spring up in my step. Didn't even get to bed. Used to paint and only pictured it in red, and now I vision things and it would send you west. Spectrum of flares. You beg to differ cause you think you see it best. The way you hold the fort, really I'm impressed. Really I invest every single minute and the rest. I saw a shaman, he said you're already blessed. I said I know this. Still 30 and confused above the shoulders. It's getting orcs to cut it loose, we need to focus. The yo girl, she raised a winner and a soldier. I love you's what I told her, I hope she knows. 100 seasons here scheming as I'm blowing smoke. Look at me all in a scene, just watch the geezer go. I'm trying to fly, saluting people, hoping that I won't. I'm floating round the globe, trackies on my puffer coat, I run it home. Tainted love, the way it comes and goes. Stay for grub, I didn't rush, I hate it when she sows. Late for lunch, blazing up, I'll never say it's all. Yeah, we're just waiting for gold.
We're just waiting to go. The place is hot with one bar, I can make it cold. Blessed microphones for a lifetime, never made it old. Shawshank Redemption, dig pipelines under wardens, no smoke weed. Every single second, never caught a cold. Raised the question, all of these lessons we was taught or told. Used to have a holy for jewelry, but I pawn my gold. Bars are damp around the foundation, and the dawn with mold. Me and Dusky thundering lightning, just like a storm with hold. While I travel globe in lavish robes, trying to buy my happy grabbing clothes, writing those to grab your lobes. I'm really scally death on Savile Row, my future money's dust some investments that I haven't blown. It's pure love I get from my kids, something I've never known. Light language, infinite scriptures, you're on a level low. Guess what I'm gonna do with my millions? If I ever blow, spend it all on NFTs and then the face to be someone. The only problem is we never known who. Gotta be something to someone to free your people up whatever you do. So always strive to be someone. The only problem is we never know who. Gotta be something to someone to free your people up whatever you do. Whatever you do, whatever you do.
Today I woke up breathing, functional with feeling, and for that I got a spring up in my step.
Shawshank Redemption, dig pipelines under wardens, no smoke weed. Every single second, never caught a cold.
You beg to differ cause you think you see it best. The way you hold the fort, really I'm impressed.
Bars are damp around the foundation, and the dawn with mold. Me and Dusky thundering lightning, just like a storm with hold. While I travel globe in lavish robes, trying to buy my happy grabbing clothes, writing those to grab your lobes. I'm really scally death on Savile Row, my future money's dust some investments that I haven't blown. It's pure love I get from my kids, something I've never known. Light language, infinite scriptures, you're on a level low. Guess what I'm gonna do with my millions? If I ever blow, spend it all on NFTs and then deface them all.
100 seasons here scheming as I'm blowing smoke. Look at me all in a scene, just watch the geezer go. I'm trying to fly, saluting people, hoping that I won't. I'm floating round the globe, trackies on my puffer coat, I run it home. Tainted love, the way it comes and goes. Stay for grub, I didn't rush, I hate it when she sows. Late for lunch, blazing up, I'll never say it's old. But we're just waiting for gold.
UFO beaming back at you.
Sweet, summery gorgeousness. And it also features a newcomer MC that is killing it right now, Dusky, and the man, the myth, the legend himself, Mr. DRS. Okay, how are you enjoying the MC episode? Are you liking it? Are you loving it? I personally love it. I'm so happy to put such talented human beings in the spotlight. It makes me happy. Okay, are you ready for our next guest? Now, this lady's flow is unbelievable. She is so talented, and in my eyes, she is one of the most talented MCs coming through right now. Yeah, I said it. She won Best Female MC at the Drum and Bass Awards in 2021. So not only is she a really good MC, she's also a really lovely person. We like that, and it's a pleasure to have her on the show. Introducing Yzer. Yzer, how are you? How's life?
I'm good. Yeah, life's good. Like January's quiet. It's always quiet, you know. It's like everyone's had the hype of New Year's and then they just want to like hide in a shell for a few months and then they come back out for festival season. But yeah, I'm good. Good. Just writing, getting in the studio and that.
Yeah, wicked. Like I just said to you, it was really important that we got you on the show because you have absolutely just killed it in the last year and it's been so impressive. Like, your stuff really stands out, I think. Even your social media.
Oh, thank you.
You're really like, yeah, you're good. So thank you.
Thank you. Do you know, that's so important to hear that from an outsider's perspective, because you can get caught up in your head about your socials, especially, you know. So to hear that from you, that's wicked, man. Thank you. Yeah, it's working. I can call them up like, it's working.
God. Yeah. So today we are celebrating MC culture in drum and bass and amazing MC talent, yourself included. Looking back at the history of drum and bass MCs, how did they, in your opinion, help shape the D&B scene into what it is today? Big question.
Massively. Like, I think they probably carried the scene, you know? I think back in the day, it wasn't really about having tunes or even having mixtapes or anything like that. It was just, if you had that right voice to like spit over that, like back when it was jungle, which then like changed into drum and bass. Like, that's why Shabba's such a legend, you know? And that's why Skibba was such a legend, because they just had those perfect voices and that energy, and they just created this double time that had never really been done before. I mean, it kind of happened on Grime, but the Grime boys were like impressed with it. They were like, oh my God, what's going on now? You know, we want to come over. And a couple of them did. I think it's massively led the scene. There's definitely an imbalance between DJs and MCs. I think DJs have lots more potential to do something amazing. Like you can really make that tune and that's going to go on the radio and be the big build higher and etc. But drum and bass wouldn't be what it is without the MC culture. It just wouldn't be. If the music just kept running, then I think the ravers would just be different kinds of ravers and the whole scene would have been different. We're supposed to hate drum and bass. Drum and bass is the thing we do on the weekend that we don't like telling people we do, that kind of thing. Is now like my mum's singing it in the car, like on Radio 1. It's absolutely crazy. There is power there, but that's the same for MCs. It would be nice to hear an MC-led tune on the radio, but you probably have more chance of being a singer doing it. But
I think we can get there though.
Yeah, for sure. It's got to be the right tune, the right concept and etc. Well, look at Brucey.
He is a great example of an MC that's doing it. Why else do you think it's important to nurture MC culture?
It's very easy to be forgotten about, I feel, as an MC. Like music lives on forever, but because MC culture, it was never really about laying your bars down. It literally was just the ravers knowing you that well, they knew your bars. But like if that culture dies out, then who's going to be there to remember it, kind of thing. And there's definitely more DJs than MCs. There's definitely a big ratio balance. So it is important that it is nurtured and that you just like. Me personally, when I find someone that's sick, like for instance, I'm going to name drop now and I don't really like name dropping. Tiny K, Tiny K is like, I heard him spit, he just drove me to a booking once. We chatted. I think we had a set once and then we chatted and he drove me to a booking and he was just so sick. And that raw energy, I was like, you know what I mean? Just knowing, you just click and you're like, that's what needs to be. You need to get together, you need to put that energy together and you need to enhance it and you need to put it back into the scene, because if we don't, then what's going to happen? Where's the scene going to go?
Like you said, it'd be a very different place. What I like about MCs as well is I think obviously the music connects with people, but actually having someone like a face and a voice connect it for you.
Exactly that.
Like, it brings a whole new dimension.
It's different. It's like you can go out any weekend and you can say, I love that tune. Oh, this DJ's, I love that tune. But imagine going out and be like, I love that tune. I love that bar. Like at the same time. You get it in garage, sometimes grime. There's not many grime raves at the moment, but that's really it.
No, it's
double energy, man.
Yeah, I'm here for it. So something I want to do with this show is, it was really important to me that we celebrate MCs, past, present, people that we lost along the way, but
100%.
But also give people their flowers now, like people that are still with us. I really have enjoyed hearing MCs rate and big up other MCs in the scene.
Oh, I love that. Yeah,
you know what I mean, and I think that's what I want to hear. So like, you know, for you, who inspires you and why?
To be honest, I've probably I was such a massive drum and bass fan that if you were ever on a stage that I went and raved and I saw you at, I probably took inspiration from you. I was that much of a raver. So obviously Skibba, an original, you know, and I think everyone takes influence from him in one way or another. And Stormin, like his energy, man, his energy is intimidating. Like I never, ever got to touch the mic with him or stage. And like, if I did, I don't know what I'd do. It's like, I'd like to pride myself as having energy.
Yeah.
But that man's got energy, you know what I mean? So it's like, you got to better yourself, man. And I think that's what it's all about, really. Like project, like the people I'm working with now, they're projecting their energy onto me and I can project it onto others, and it's amazing. Yeah. It's wicked how it's working.
Yeah, totally. Speaking of, well, Connie, you spoke about him earlier, Skibba. This show is dedicated to Skibba. We lost him this time last year.
Yeah, it is getting on now, isn't it?
Yeah. Have you got any memories or a memory that you can share of?
See, I unfortunately did not get to spend any personal time with Skibba. Our paths did not cross like that, which is gutting. I know loads of people that did, but it just didn't happen for me. But I've got one very, very, very vivid memory. I flew out to in the Sun in 2017 to take part in the MC comp. I come runner-up, and it was Fat Man D's comp, and he... who come first? I think some Russian guy come first, and he was spitting the most ragga, and everyone was going nuts. And I was like, to be fair, like, I've never heard it. You're sick. Like, you need to win, kind of thing. Yeah. Anyway, afterwards, Fatch just looked and was like, should we all bar? And Skibba was one of the little judges as well, and we just all barred. And he may not have even clocked who I was, but someone behind me got a video. I was young, 17, couldn't even get myself a drink at the bar, kind of thing. Yeah. And it went on Facebook, and my family, my sister, bless her, she's been raving like 10 years longer than me. She was like, oh my gosh, share, and it's all our friends. That will be one of the best memories of drum and bass for me. I think the first time you touch mic with an elite artist is going to be in your brain for a long time.
Yeah, definitely. I love that's a really fond memory of yours, and then you've gone on to do, so much. And I bet you are inspiring a lot of people yourself now. And
I like to think so. I like to think there are, especially women, to inspire. Yeah, because for me, when I started, there really wasn't. There was, and I knew about it when I got brought into it, and I got shown it and educated. But I didn't really know. Like, I went to a rave and I think I saw one female MC once.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa, what? I was literally like, this doesn't happen. Like, the whys didn't cross in my head. I didn't even know I wanted to MC then. Yeah. So I was like, that is cool. It's got to be done.
Yeah. I definitely think you are inspiring women. So keep up the good work.
Love that.
Timing is a special place we fall to. Here with you, and rhyming is my only way to talk to. And all due respect, I know I'm running round the corner that I never thought I found. There's a liar waiting for you. Something tells me you're too good to get so down. So I'll try more. Hey, I'm trying. I'm too hard to find light in. Get started, really want love, and I know it's tough, but it's worth for the fighting. You feel me? Cause I felt a lot, that's why always I'm writing. Pencil up and bring more to the fight. Start hyping, thinking one day, man, I might win. They ain't taking part, what counts? I lose count, so draw for the dice and roll around under the side that I'm liking. I stick to it, persevere like Vikings. See, I never want drama, though it's really good finding. But I do it all for the love, so there's no way that I'd be touching the violence. There's no way that I'd level down, no. Gotta stay on track and perfect my sound, grab the crown. Make my family proud and be the best I could ever be now. What you're telling me now, my time will come, I'm ready right now. Because my heart lies for this, so I'll be patient, I'm sitting tight. Your words in my brain, they soothe it away. Bring hope to the game tonight. reminisce a special place we fall to. Here with you, and rhyming is my only way to talk to. And all due respect, I know I'm running round the corner that I never thought I found. There's a liar waiting for you with my head above the ground. Something tells me you're too good to get so down. So I'll try more, I'll try more. Hey, I'm trying, I'm too hard to find lighting. Get started, really want love, and I know it's tough, but it's worth for the fighting. You feel me? Cause I felt a lot, that's why always I'm writing. Pencil up and bring more to the fight, start hyping. Thinking one day, man, I might win. They ain't taking part with counts. I lose counts, or draw for the dice and roll around land on the side that I'm liking. I stick to it, persevere like Vikings. See, I never want drama, though it's really good finding. But I do it all for the love, so there's no way that I'd be touching the violence. There's no way that I'd level down, no. Gotta stay on track and perfect my sound, grab the crown. Make my family proud and be the best I could ever be now. What you're telling me now, my time will come, I'm ready right now. Because my heart lies for this, so I'll be patient, I'm sitting tight. Your words in my brain, they soothe it away. Bring hope to the game tonight.
Join our crew and stay up to date by hitting the follow button so you can keep up to date with every episode and be notified when the next episode is released.
Hey, you, blow your whistle. Now clap your hands and say, yeah. Now let me count it out. 1, 2,
Just up in a park, can't see me face, balaclava, them can't see me face, balaclava, them can't see me face, balaclava, can't see me face, balaclava, them can't see me face, balaclava, them can't see me face, balaclava, 1, 4 and a 9 just up in a park, can't see me face, balaclava, them can't see me face, balaclava, them can't see me face, balaclava, say what them call me, in the blue light, neck on the line, walk with the 4, walk with a 9, police one search, never one spine, and me get away, all of the time, face cover up, like a ninja, high grade S, that a danger, real ragga buffy, in the area, when me cover dance, style and lean, can't see me face, balaclava, them can't see me face, balaclava, them can't see me face, balaclava, 1, 4 and a 9 just up in a park.
I don't get a license to play this. I have a license, man. If you get a license to play that kind of dope here, so I get locked up.
Oh my God! Ooh! If ever ring the alarm, but the back bill man missing bill man gone. Open the boot and they see what I want. If I make some calls, man will see what I want. Nah, them man they don't know what I'm on. To this is the big thing that's under the arm. But the back onto the beef, onto the arms. Man I got bare teeth like 5 arms.
Hail up the highest, anyone can get it, my machine ain't biased. When big man talk, please keep quiet. Start up a riot if the pussy all try it. Black outfit to match the balaclava. Right now, Fritz, I get a little darker. Big 357, teach man a lesson. Can't see me face, man a ninja. All ragamuffin.
Yes, such a massive tune. Loads of wicked MCs on that one. Spider, of course, a drum and bass Don, and of course Grime Don, D-double-E. I love him, I'm obsessed. And last but not least, of course, Boy Better Knows Frisco. Okay, strap yourselves in for our next guests. Now, I had the absolute pleasure of sitting down in person at the Halley in Haggerston with Shabba, Harry Shotta and Phantasy. Now, with this episode being dedicated to Skibba, it was absolutely integral to the episode that this lot gave us their blessing. So it was an honour, you know, that they were up for it and they liked the idea, and just to even sit down and soak up their wisdom was a privilege. So yeah, please enjoy this interview, and remember, you can also go and watch this interview in particular on the D&B All Stars YouTube page. Okay, let's get into it. Introducing SAS onto the show. So we are here at the Halley, and I'm very, very, very happy to be joined by Harry Shotta, Phantasy and Shabba. Hello, lads.
What's going on?
Okay, so as I said before, really good to have you guys here. In my eyes, you are the creme de la creme of drum and bass MC culture. So yeah, it's just brilliant to have you here at the Halley. We're going to go in with a bit of a serious one to start off. Looking back at the history of drum and bass MCs, how did they, yourselves included, help to shape the D&B scene into what it is today?
Well, Shabba's been there, man, from long time, running that with convention and other things alongside Skibba, pioneering that, so he'd be a great guy to answer that question, man.
Yeah, I just feel like when I first got into the scene, I come from the raving element with no MCs, obviously like host MCs, people like, even before my time, Chalky Whites, Hardcore General, MC, like they weren't really about the lyrics, it was just more about the voice. Starting on the radio, just answering the phone, and going from that to what it is today is just been an amazing journey. I feel like, along the way there was times where the music goes left, right, it's not really more vocal tunes, cutting out the MC, so you've got to know when to adapt and take the good with the bad as an MC, talking as an MC. There's been times where, you know, it get pushed right to the back, then all of a sudden, you know, MC convention days, wow, the MC's right on the roads.
Yeah.
So you take the balance, I suppose, in the middle, and looking at things now, it's just a proud moment. I feel like what we've done the whole way, not just me, there's loads of other MCs, Shotta, Skibba, R.I.P, Stormin, you know, X-Man, Evil B, like everyone's put their something into this scene to shape it, so it's more also, concussion as well.
Even further than that, you've got people like Dizzy Rascal and Tiny Temper and all of these people that were into like listening to Skibba, Shabba and all them guys back in the day that were trying to get into like the jungle thing, and for whatever reason maybe doors were closed, or maybe it had to be in the boys club to kind of get there. I don't know what it was, because I don't deal with that side of things, but what it is them guys went on to do other things. When you had Garage Breakout, and you got the garage guys that are smashing it, DT and CKP and all those, because CKP was an old jungle guy, wasn't he?
Yeah, most guys that come from the jungle.
That's what I'm saying. And then even like the grime guys, and so like, you know, the MC culture from back then has had a massive important part in UK like bass music culture.
Yeah,
that's right.
Because when you think of it, there's a lineage to it. There's the sound system culture, which people like Navigator, Ragga Twins, they was on that from early, and that's where jungle kind of stems from, the whole sound system culture. That's why it is traditionally the DJ and the MC working together to create something special. And then when you think how it went, then it was obviously jungle, then drum and bass, and you said like the garage, then grime, Pay As You Go, the Heartless, and that's led to, you know, even now like the drill thing, and there'll be another wave. There'll always be another wave.
Now it's back round after drill. Everyone's back on drum and bass.
Well, this is the mad thing now. You've got grime MCs and rap MCs jumping on drum and bass beats now, and making full vocal tracks. So it's like a full circle thing, man. It's mad.
Yeah, it's the inspiration comes from both sides. I was talking to someone about this the other day. It's like they grew up listening to us, like the Stormzy's, the Wileys, the Kanos, but verse, I listen to them guys, and they inspire me. I might hear my you know, a little shout in a tune or whatever. I know most of them guys personally anyway, so it's like they inspire me, and I was saying that it goes both ways, you know what I mean? And that's the great thing. And when it meets in the middle, it's like, oh yeah, you're doing great, but the drum and bass thing is a whole different scene. We've got a scene amongst scenes.
I think
you know what I mean?
our scene, drum and bass, and even going back to jungle, I think is the envy of all the other scenes. I've always said this because our scene as drum and bass has always been quite consistent. Even in its lull times, there's still them underground clubs.
Yeah, always,
But if another, like when garage was like the best thing, you know, the biggest thing since sliced bread, and then it become not the biggest thing since sliced bread, there was really nowhere for them to go. But with our scene, even through its ups and downs, it's consistent. There's always
and consistently over the world as well. Look, you can go to Canada, it's big, Germany, all across Europe now, New Zealand, Australia. So
And
there's
that's
all
why
those channels,
I
man.
think
It's been
that's why
transported all over the world. You know what I mean?
We're the envy of a lot of other music genres because even if you go, like drum and bass and jungle is one to me as far as I'm concerned. So jungle, I heard about jungle was like in 1991, 92. I remember Jason Kay playing this song, and I turned around to him. It was at the Coventry Eclipse, and I was like, "What the bloody hell is this?" And he just pulled a spliff out of his mouth and went, "This is jungle, man." And I was just like, exactly like that. Honestly, you know how Jay sounds, isn't it? It was just like, "This is jungle, man," and I was like, "Right, I see. I'm in." You know what I mean? It was like, it was wicked. So, I mean, that's like, that's 30. It's 31 years ago.
In terms of
now.
that, a lot of these guys are coming back home, really.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And we, like from the scene, everyone's like, it's built up on many different things. But as an MC UK vocalist and someone that's been here for like 30 years plus, it's like, wow, looking at this whole thing, everyone's got to have some sort of love, whether it's through their brothers, their mothers, their aunts, their cousins, through this UK drum and bass jungle music. Stemming right from the hardcore days. So I look at it like that as a positive. You know, these guys come in, they've gone off in the world and done their things, and now they're doing remixes, or they're spitting on man's tunes, or they're finding love for that music. Maybe it's just a business thing, whatever, but they must have that love for it, you know, somewhere down the line. So it's a positive.
Okay, so guys, how do you think that MC culture and talent can be better nurtured within D&B, and why is it important that we do so?
Come to Mic Masters.
Well, I mean, there needs to be sort of platforms that are set up for the MCs, because more time these days, if you think about the DJs and the producers, what they'll do, and it's great, they'll make tunes in a week, they're doing loads of collaborations with each other, the scene's in a really good state, and then they'll come. We saw it the other night, Turner and Skepsis playing together, playing their new tune, PA, and the vocalist comes out. It's wicked energy. But a lot of the times, the MCs are just coming and spitting over sets. So they're in the studio a week making tunes the same way now. They're releasing on Spotify, they're getting a lot of streams and everything else, but there's not a platform to nurture that talent, because also as well, I find as well, MCs need time to develop stagecraft and things like that. 100%. You know, you could. It's easy to. I'm not saying it's easy, but you could make a tune in the studio, it blows, but you haven't really got no stagecraft. So they need to have a place where they can go and learn things about breath control, learn things about when to stop and let the music breathe, learn these things in a live environment without the pressure of suddenly being on a massive festival stage and flopping, and then people going, "I don't like MCs because that person weren't very good."
And that's
and then you get tarred with the same brush. You know,
organically, it should be done organically as well, though. That's the thing, and there's so much events all around the world, so you can learn your craft quick as well nowadays, where when you first started there was only one rave on one night and that was the place to be, or going through the years. So it's blossomed so much now, so there's many different ways, but like Shot said, definitely some sort of platform where obviously bringing MC convention back in the day was a big thing as well, because it was a similar sort of thing. The time was MCs were kind of doing 2-hour sets, and it was old school rules, like in terms of that. We sort of like was watching the Grind Man at the time and was like, whoa, them lot are coming in. Book Skepta at a rave myself, and he'd come in for 20 minutes and got like 1,500 quid for 15 minutes. Well, I was like, wow, that's what we want to be heading. But obviously we shaped it down to an hour. It's hour sets, because people just think that started from beginning, but it weren't. It was MCs were doing 2, 3, 4 hours. Do you know what I mean? They used to book 2 and 3 MCs.
No, I remember they were still on that in Germany when I first come in the scene. I was like, what, 3 hours? You might having a laugh.
Nah, if you say an hour and a half,
down to at least 90 minutes, dog.
I mean, so it's crazy. It has involved a lot, and it's kind of there's many different ways you can do that, but we're also like starting a platform for MCs as well. Like, we believe that being in the game so long as well, that we've got to have some sort of authority on this MC thing as well, in a positive way, and to help many as well.
I think that's the problem, is there isn't really anywhere for MCs to go and learn their craft these days. It's literally like, can you we did a warehouse project the other day, and we brought out Yzer, she's sick, and we brought brought out Slay.
Yeah.
He's sick as well. And Slay from the grime scene, is that right?
I think he used to do grime, yeah, but he's been doing a lot of work with Hospital and Chimpa and guys, you know.
Like when they come in, it was like wicked to, you know, just they both when they come on one at a time and they lifted the crowd as well, and it was the great dynamics. And you know what we want to do with SASS is we want to basically use our platform to basically help some of
younger
the younger generation.
And you know what I mean? The main reason we're doing that, or the kick started it, was because all through lockdown, Skibba was like going on doing his lives every day, and what his main thing he was doing was showcasing new talent, new producers DJs and MCs, and you know,
so
he was on to us, and it like we've got to bring in the new generation now. So when he sadly passed, we thought we've got to carry out his wishes in terms of the SASS brand, which is why we created Past, Present and Future.
Okay, so something that I said to Steve when I first spoke to him about doing this show was that it was really important for me to not only have people bigging up artists that we've unfortunately lost, but also just to give people their flowers and big people up that are, you know, still with us today. So just off the back of that, like, who are you guys rating? Who inspires you? Is there anyone that you can name for me?
You want to go first, Shabs?
So basically, I just want to say R.I.P. Stormin and Skibba, obviously they're my brothers. I miss them like mad. Stevie Hyper as well was a legendary. Like, I was blessed to be able to work with all three of them. MCs coming through, there's loads of MCs. Obviously I got my high level label. There's people like Endo, Tans, Swifter, you know, Grimer and Yzer smashing it out there. J Wills, Loader B. These are just names on the top of my head.
There's a lot, isn't it? That's the thing.
There's a lot. They're a good few names where I just feel like they've been pushing and they're actually all lyrically sick. So
I mean, like, some of the names I like as well. Some of the youngers coming through, I really like Westman. I think he's a great lyricist. I think Yzer is just an incredible performer, lyricist, artist. Just dash the female thing away. She's one of the best, regardless of gender and all that. To me, you know, Yzer's amazing, and obviously people like X-Man, Evil B. I like people like DRS as well, and SP and people like that as well. Do you know, there's so many different facets and different styles of drum and bass at MC, and I'm a big fan of it all, whether that's the ragga thing, whether that's the deeper stuff that DRS and people like that do, or whether it's like the sort of far thing which was pioneered by Skibbs and Shabba, and obviously X and Evil, and I love people like IC3 as well. There's so much personalities in drum and bass. IC3 is one of my favourite MCs because the personality.
I love Roger,
and he's Chelsea.
He's Chelsea. That is the one bad thing.
The one downfall.
Oh, come on, man. There's no downfalls of IC3, man. Come on.
And obviously, you mentioned Yzer and Grimer, but I'm so proud of them and Dreps as well. The way they've come through, man, over the last few years, absolutely killing it. Do you know what I mean?
From my point of view, I mean, I think each MC brings. It'd be unfair to sort of like these guys have named. I'll just be repeating what they're saying, but I mirror what you say, Shabs, with you know, like Skibba and Stormin. It was like, I always remember you said on one of the pods, we were so lucky to be able to tour the world with them, and like, you know, sort of be around them, and as not just as performers but as people, and feed off of their like beautiful energy. And also Stevie Hyper D, I was like absolutely blessed to be able to work with him. And it's funny because with Stevie lived in Fulham, which is, I used to see him when I was going to footy, and I used to hang around Fulham when I was younger, and I didn't really realise how good Stevie was until he actually MC'd with me, and it was afterwards I come out and was like, bloody hell, that guy's good. But it was only when you know, I'd see him on stage and I'd see the place going nuts and that, but it was only when I worked with him that I went, oh my god, this guy
you know, looking back, and even at the time, like, he was way ahead of his time, like lyrically.
Well, he was signed to like major and all that,
just,
so
even from the early days, like he was choruses song, like we was just you know, that's when the MC game first started. They weren't really, like I said, it weren't really about the lyrics, but what he did, and when he come in, he was so forward and ahead of the game. And his shit will live on forever, I'm sure.
Man, I mean, I just remember it from a listener's perspective, because I wasn't in the scene and I was just a fan, but listening to Hyper, the thing that struck me was his versatility. 1 minute he could be singing, next minute he's rapping, next minute he's doing double time, next minute it's ragga. It's like 4 or 5 MCs in one man. Superhuman, do you know what I'm saying? I never got the pleasure of meeting him, but
he had it,
big inspiration.
So you spoke a little bit about Skibba then. Obviously we are dedicating this episode to Skibba. I imagine that you guys have a lot of wonderful, lovely memories with Skibba. But are there any memories that kind of stand out for you? Anything that you can share?
Me and Skibbs used to always be in competition to see who could get to passport control first. But you know what it is, I'd just be walking out to passport, next thing, just get in front of me and just start laughing. It's silly things like that, just little things that don't really probably matter to anyone, but they all made us laugh. And yeah, there's so many stories, man. We probably have to do just a straight up episode about that.
Yeah, we could sit here till next week and I could tell you. But for me, it was when I took him fishing in Thailand.
Yeah,
that was a moment that just stood out.
You got seen the meme? Oh, it went viral.
It went viral. The picture, and I basically caught an arapaima. And it was like 200-pound fish, and he was like, got him in the water, and we had some photos, and just to see his face and whatever when we went fishing, he was amazed by it. And like pretty much I was the first time I went as well, so yeah, we just had such a laugh.
I can tell you boys had such a good time on that holiday, man.
Yeah.
I can see all the pictures.
Yeah,
like 1,000 pictures.
Skibba did love a picture though. But there's one thing I just thought of, one thing about Skibbs, and even after everything he had done, I always remember I called him and I was like, "Oh, Skibbs, man, we've got Tomorrowland, but we can't say nothing. We got to wait." And he was like, "Oh my god, listen, bro, that's bad." And I was like, "Yeah, we were all gassed." And then I called him like maybe a few days later, and I was like, "Oh, bro, we're doing the D&B Awards." And he was like, "Oh my god, the D&B." I was like, "Bruv, you can't be as gassed about the D&B Awards as Tomorrowland." And it just made me realise that he was just so happy and gassed about everything.
And being on the stage, he just loved being on the stage.
Born entertainer, weren't he? You know.
I just say, me personally with Skibba, like obviously I met him sort of about around 2001, and I met him as a hip hop MC as opposed to being in the drum and bass scene. And I met him and literally went to the studio and we just vibed straight away. We made a tune on the day we met each other, and we literally never stopped from that day. That's what I said to Doug that time. We never stopped. Every week, there wasn't really a week I didn't speak to him since that time till he passed. You know what I'm saying? And he was such a generous person. I remember when he used to pick me up and take me to the studio. No, I still don't drive, but I never drive then, not now. But he'd pick me up and like, you know what? Them times I didn't have much dough, and he knew that, and he'd buy pizzas for man, give man a few beers. He's just that's the sort of guy he was, man. Just very giving, very generous. I would say about Skibbs, he always thought about everyone else, as opposed to himself. A lot of the time, he'd always, if someone had a problem, he'd be on the phone like talking to you, like almost like a counsellor. Do you know what I'm saying? So very generous,
and he was very positive as well.
Super positive, man. Do you know what I mean?
I remember I was annoyed about something, and I messaged. We've got our own group, and I messaged it, and I literally pressed send, and my phone rang. And he was like, get out of your mind. And I was like, oh no, yeah, but. And he went, no, he wouldn't even hear it. He just shut it down. And when I put the phone down, I was like, no, you know what, you're right. It's really was minor. Do you know what I mean? But and it takes a lot to get me annoyed, but this annoyed me. And then when I spoke to him later, I was like, nice one for that, brother. You know, you needed that. And he's like, no, just stop that. And he was on this bad energy, staying away from bad energy. And with Skibbs, like what it is like if he felt like something was off, he wouldn't say nothing. He would just step away, and he didn't like the bad energy. And you know, so he was a unique person, man.
He will never be replaced. No, like
irreplaceable energy, man.
Like
you can't replace that.
As much as that would always carry his legacy, us three definitely. Anyway, like as much as the whole scene, but we'll never forget him. Especially me, like I toured with him for like over 20 years, and you know, not loads of memories what I could cherish forever. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, he's a big hole to be filled, and we still haven't fully got over it. Do you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So it was. Just want to say big love to his family and close friends and whatever. Like we'll carry on.
And all the fans, man. Like the thing with Skibba is you see how much he touched people's lives. They might have not even ever met him, but they still feel the loss. That's how deep his connection and how you know what he brought to this world. Do you know what I'm saying?
Do you remember that time when we did the Red Bull Culture Clash? And Lethal Bizzle come in, and Lethal Bizzle come in and met Skibba and Shabba, and was like so gassed to meet. He was like, "Oh my god, Skibba, Shabba, you're my inspiration." And was like, and I'm like, Skibba's take photos. I'm taking photos, and afterwards, Skibba was like so buzzing to have met Lethal, and I was like, bruv, he was more buzzing to meet you, and he was like, no, but it's Lethal, isn't it?
But he's like that. He's super humble.
That's what I was saying, and I still, he doesn't. Even though I told him loads of times, he never realised how big he was, and he never realised how many people's lives he touched.
No, I don't think anyone did.
No.
And when he passed, and the amount of love that he got shown, and you know what I'm saying, like I said, he's a music UK pioneer icon, like to many, and he lived that image right until the day that he passed. You know what I mean? So. Yeah, it's just a sad, but like I said, we would never forget him, and his legacy will carry forever.
We still play his music in our sets, like with his voice. So it's like with Stormin as well. You know, God rest his soul.
Yeah, Stormin.
You know,
as well.
Stormin said to me, one of the last things he said to me was he didn't want anyone to forget him. Yeah. So that's why when you phoned me about and you wanted to dedicate Skibs, I said we have to talk about Stormin as well, because like, you know, I promised him I would never let anyone forget him. When we did a Kiss FM show just for Christmas. Yeah. We did a show on Kiss, and I didn't even tell anyone. I just played one of these tunes that he done, and everyone was like, you know, let's get hype, and everyone was like, going mad. And you know, that's my thing, that I promised him I would never let anyone forget him, and I will do everything I can to make sure no one does. You know what I mean? And same with the boys. Yeah. Every time we're on stage, you always mention him. And
man, it's just like I said, it's just something automatic for us. Like, you know, the boy, we watched Stormin past when Skibba was here, so he did the same for Stormin, and that's what we do for our boys. You know what I mean? Won't forget them. So.
SAS show. Best of the best of the best with the very fresh flow. When we link up, you already know. The four are we together, that's a killer combo. SAS show. Best of the best of the best with the very fresh flow. When we link up, you already know. The four are we together, that's a killer combo. We are SAS about to compete. Big in the game and I'm in it, yeah, you know the team. When it comes to this jungle, it's a cool thing, I keep you king. With the mic get bun like smoking grease, so don't make me start eating bars. SAS, teaming hard, come out the way, you know we go fast. Give it a beat, I be leaving stars on the mountain. I'ma get them with a venomous dose, hope you don't know that we compound them. No warning, like that's me, boss the biggest stoner. Making dough like Homer. Don't get drunk on Corona, got bare friends so I can't be alone now. People love my hype on the stage, that's why it's me that promoters phone up. All of this in just 1 year, look at the way that we have blown up. All got walls that we can hold up, sing around the track like Daytona. Smacked it in London, Dam and Girona. Can't take man for Kerry Corona. Way name brand, play like Gola. Everyone's big in the team just like Hova. Just got back from Belgium to Dover. 2 minute show, so we couldn't stay over. SAS show. Best of the best of the best with the very fresh flow. When we link up, you already know. The four are we together, that's a killer combo. SAS show. Best of the best of the best with the very fresh flow. When we link up, you already know. The four are we together, that's a killer combo. Let me start my double SA, get messy. SAS the best on the line, up quick on the ball. Like Benteke, them man are acting cool, them Beppe. Back to burn like I'm Pesce. Me and my team, we're making headway. Might see man on stage on the segway. 4-man DV, dream team, that's us, no competing. So you man best say, you man are going in hard. Like Kanichi and my boy Desse. Lyrical decimals, deafening decibels, getting you high with them edible shots. Storming, Skibba, Shabba, going on wicked and going on terrible. SAS to the track, I'm about to open them up like internet browser. We're doing it daily, weekly, monthly, yearly, by the hour. With the guys that make to go sweet and sour. Bring jungle power, Harry Shotta up, Bilson skanking. I turn up with a lyrical shower. Lyrical martial arts and karate, bars and big like Ben and Nasty. SAS, brand new D&B jungle army. Touch a mic, a people them swami. Making the ravens and go balmy. X amounts of love on this track, run this thing like Grand Finale. SAS show. Best of the best of the best with the very fresh flow. When we link up, you already know. The four are we together, that's a killer combo. SAS show. Best of the best of the best with the very fresh flow. When we link up, you already know. The four are we together, that's a killer combo.
Please make sure to hit that follow button to stay updated on our latest episodes.
love for that room. That's down on my shoulders, don't move for that tree. I don't want with them jokers, let them let it. Oh my God, damn. I'm trying to show it, I'm right as well. My eyes are open, so I can tell. My style is potent, it's off the scale. Oh my God, damn.
Naughty. Skibba was always pushing and promoting the newcomers in the scene. So we had to draw for a tune featuring the man himself, but also featuring some new up-and-coming talent. Rising Star and Jump Up Yzer, Amplify and Pengo. Big tune, that one. I just want to take a second to recognise and appreciate the interview with Harry, Shotta, Shabba and Phantasy. They've got so much knowledge and so many nuggets of wisdom to pass on to the younger generation. So yeah, I definitely learned a lot talking to those guys. This is good, right? And it doesn't stop there either. Oh no. Our next guest is one of the first ever female MCs in drum and bass. Not only is she a wicked MC, she is also a charity CEO. She is CEO and founder of an incredible little charity called Young Urban Arts Foundation, a charity that I actually work for as a freelancer. I'm so honoured to have Kerry on the show. She spends half of her year over in Kenya and then, like I said, the other half just here in the UK, just helping other people. She's a real gem. So yeah, it was crucial to get her on the show. So here we go. This is Indigo Rain, aka Lady MC, on Drum and Bass Radio. All right, let's get in and amongst it. Hello, Kerry, Lady MC, Indigo Rain. How are you?
I've got 3 names. I'm good.
I know. I didn't know what to go with because obviously you're best known in the D&B scene as Lady MC, but you've got a new venture, don't you?
I do. Yeah. So I've rebranded my name, Indigo Rain. Obviously, I'm always going to be Lady MC. I'm not going to be able to lose that, but yeah, I'm trying to get everyone to call me Indigo. But yeah, 25 years deep, it's going to be a bit of a job.
Yeah, God, that's such a long time. Thank you for being here. I like it that we're doing this because side thing, bit of information for people. You're actually also the CEO of the charity that I work for, so we have like a multi-faceted little situation we do, Kerry, I think. But also I really wanted you on the show just for being, one of the first ever female MCs in D&B, and your experience in the scene is just incredible, so it was important for me to bring you in. So we're basically celebrating MC culture in drum and bass, like MC culture but MC talent, which includes yourself, of course. Looking back at the history of D&B MCs, Kerry, how did they, in your opinion, help shape the D&B scene into what it is today?
I would say, think of it like this, right? Think of it like when you go to a concert and you sing along to a track, yeah? Like you've got you've got things that everyone sings along to, and obviously you've got that in the music. But actually what I find, even if you didn't even realise you were doing it, you were singing along to the MCs in the raves. Yeah. You just do it. You just do it without even realising. So there's that element, which is like the embodiment of the music, which is like the MC's rhymes or how they hail out to the crowd or what they do on the music. It's kind of like the theme tune across the music. But then you've also got, you know, the really important part, which is about building community. And building the community is about communication, and music does that on its own. But to have someone at the forefront that is essentially the community builder of the music, you know, that's the way I see it. It's like, you know, and also the person that also supports the DJ, because it's, you know, it's a DJ can just do their thing. Obviously, you know, there are times where the energy in a rave or an event, there is an element of conducting. You know, it is a conducting, you know, so there's times that the energy is a bit low and it needs to be lifted up, or where everyone is just losing their shit because the tune's so good, and someone needs to call on a rewind. You know, so for me, like take the way that I am an MC, but just as a raver and as a lover of the music, it just wouldn't be the same without MCs. I mean, you've got amazing events like Swerve. I mean, they've got MCs now, but you know, you go to Swerve. I mean, you've got like Conrad there now and everything, but before they just had no MC. Completely different vibe. Still beautiful, but it's a different vibe. You know, it's I don't know. I think without an MC, there's this kind of mature energy to it. Like when there's an MC, like the childlike stuff comes out of everyone, and it kind of just, I don't know, it does something else, doesn't it? It kind of like releases this more playful side of us. That's just my opinion anyway. You know, singing along to the MCs and, you know, losing your shit when the tune gets reloaded, and, you know, it's just, and what the MC does to get everyone more excited. So yeah, that's my kind of take on it.
That's beautiful, and I loved community building as well. I've never looked at it like that, but it's so true. And
that's what I love about being an MC. That's like my favourite part. It's like, you know, you've got, you know, all the best bars and all that, but actually, like for me personally, it's like my love of MCing is that bit. It's that community building side. It's that building that energy. It's seeing the difference that you make when you say something on the mic. Oh,
I love that. I like it that we've just seen like little raver Kerry, who's like skanking out, wants to like MC along to like, I don't know, like I mean, and also MC Kerry, who appreciates it from a different angle as well. It's nice.
Kerry.
MC Kerry, maybe that's your next name. Why is it important, Kerry, that MC culture and talent is nurtured within drum and bass? Like, why is it important to shine this spotlight on it? What's your opinion?
Well, for everything I've just said about the difference that an MC makes at an event, for all those reasons, but also it's like, why not foster any form of talent in any genre? You know, yes, we are talking about drum and bass, but let's like look bigger picture and look wider picture. It's like, why would we not foster talent, and why would we not foster self-expression in all the different forms that it comes? So I think if you look at lots of different genres of music, right? If you look at house music, you might find an MC on house music.
Yeah, it's true.
You know, occasionally you might find a host, you know what I mean? You know, you go to like a piano or Afro beats, you've got people that hype up in the crowd, but like drum and bass is not drum and bass without MCs.
Without an MC.
If you think back, right? If you think back to like, I mean, you might be a bit young, but if you think back to like in the 90s, right? You know, it was like Andy C and Flux. It was like Moose and GQ and SL and Ron. It was like these packages, you know, Nicky Black Market and Stevie Hyper D, and you know, it was like they just came as packages. Do you know what I mean? It's like without those MCs, who knows where those DJs actually would have been? You don't know. You know what I mean? So it's part of our culture, and I'm super proud to be part of it.
Oh, me too. I'm happy you're a part of it too. All right, so this show is a celebration of all great MCs. in drum and bass. Can you share with us some MCs that inspire you in the scene?
Absolutely. DRS, Dynamite, Stevie Uppity, GQ, Darrison.
Yeah.
That's kind of like the sort of the beginning part. Obviously Skibba, in my earlier years, and I love to, double time and go crazy on jump up, like Skibba, Shabba, Fun, really looked up to them. But yeah, definitely in the realm of kind of like the DRS, Dynamite, Darrison kind of vibes. Do you know what I mean?
Through wholesome. DRS as well is up there for me with one of my favorites, definitely.
Yeah.
Like you just said, you kind of mentioned Skibba then, but last but by no means least, Kerry. This show is obviously dedicated to Skibba, who we very sadly lost this time last year. How did Skibba inspire you, and do you have a memory of or with him that you can share with us?
Yeah, well, it's interesting, right? So, like everyone's got all these like amazing stories to share. Like, Skibba did this to me, Skibba did that. I'm going to be honest, yeah. Like, as I was growing up as an MC, it was like I always just used to hustle the mic. So it's like I'd be in a rave, I'd be raving, I wasn't even booked. In my earlier years, the only way people would hear me, and the only way I was going to get exposure was by going up and just feeling the mic off the MCs. Like, that's basically what I did for about 10 years, right? Yeah. So I was just like, from 15 years old, I would just wait on the side of the stage, right? Wait for the right MC that might like, oh yeah, IC3, he'll give me the mic, or Ragga Twins or whoever it was, and I always used to sit on the sideline of the stage waiting for, my opportunity to go and get my 16 bars, 32 bars on the mic, whatever it was. And it's an interesting story, Skibba, because like sometimes I would wait on the sideline for like an hour and just wait for my moment, and then I'd look and then someone would be like, yeah, come. And then Skibba would just show up. and that was it. I'd be like, I'd be like, that's it. I never got a chance. You know what I mean? That was like in the 90s, in my very early years. Yeah. So yeah, like I was always like, Skibba never gives me the mic. Do you know what I mean? Skibba's so missed, man. I mean, it just feels weird being in a rave. Like I keep, every time I'm in a rave in London, I keep thinking I'm seeing him. Like I'll walk on up, it was just like his spirit is so present, and you really feel his spirit in the events. And man, he's I think he is like Stevie, gonna be forever missed. You know what I mean?
There's some beautiful memories though, and also Kerry, I just love hearing you at the side of a stage just waiting for your moment. Like that is so you through and through, just like ready for it. So I love that memory.
Well, you know what, being a girl back then, without a crew, without anyone really backing you, it's like that was the only way I was ever going to get heard. Like I would do whatever I could to get on those stage just to get the opportunity to wait for that moment. Like I would even be so cheeky, Laurie, where an MC would just finish, put his mic down and get a drink, and I'll just go take the mic. Do my thing. I love that. Like some of the MCs are looking just so perplexed, like, who is this? Jeez, like, give me the mic. Like, I'm like, well, thanks.
I bet they rated that though. I would rate that if I saw that happen, and especially for like, if you were like a teenager, a young girl, grabbing the mic and running on stage, I'd just be like, that is impressive.
I used to get chucked off stages. Security used to drag me off the stage. I had no shame whatsoever. All I cared about was getting on that mic.
Wicked. Love that. Amazing. All right. Kerry, that's it. Thank you so much. And also,
thanks for having me, Laurie.
That's okay. Look, we look forward to more from Indigo Rain. There you go. Yes. Let's do it.
Aspect and the lady presenting the silver lining. situation. Cause every life lesson, it calls a transformation. When you're in it, may not seem it, but believe it is a strategy. We call it destiny. Unique structure and design. Getting caught up in the mind is blind, and not with the divine. Gratitude essential, essential. See beyond the pain and homing in on credentials. The attitude of gratitude is constantly in my mood and vibration. Appreciating revelations. We're ascending and elevating to the light. Only acknowledging the lovely elements of life. Thankfulness for godliness and blessing that we manifest. A life of peace of mind. Free your mind in this drum and bass reality.
Hey yo, this is X-Man. Right now you're locked into Laurie Charlesworth. It's crazy. Kapow!
If you thief any of TC's fucking beats, right, we will send round the most murkiest merkmen from Merkdom on a Monday, which is Merkin Day. And we will fucking murk you, alright? We're not talking no normal sway back, Patrick Swayze, nice and easy, ballet dancing, lemon squeezy style, yeah? We're talking murky. We're talking pea super, we're talking fog, darkness. We're coming right your house. We'll murder your fish, your dog, your cat, animal, vegetable, mineral. Listen, what can run and fuck you up? That's what I'm saying, yeah? We're here to play a part, it's just, it's a little vibe, yeah? If you fucking touch this fucking vibe light, I'll stick your neck in. Okay. Deep like Titanic, make the dance panic. That 1 a penny, 2 a penny, vibe you can't manage. Bo, pure nasty habit, sadness I can't have it. Do your move, bust your star, rave a dance, swap it. Get a bit of hit a bit, get a bit of beat and flow, that's so savage. Uncle TC and Mr. Jakes are spells damage. We one fringe from here to Trinity, or we done flash it over breakbeat, SD, salsa, or dub garage. Hip hop, it'll leave you stiff dead in a carriage. 2 to the head, 1 to the leg without a ratchet. Wrap your head around this socket, you can't nap it. It's the rough, rugged, ever ready, raw, core classic. Titanic, make the dance panic. 1 a penny, 2 a penny, but you can't manage. Your nasty habits, sadness, I can't have it. Do your move, but your star, rave a dance rapid. Deep Titanic, make the dance panic. 1 a penny, 2 a penny, but you can't manage. Your nasty habits, sadness, I can't have it. Do your move, but your star, rave a dance rapid. I'm working so hard right now, rolling these beats with Mr. TC right now. So I got fire with Titanic, make the dance panic. 1 penny, 2 penny, but you can't manage. You're nasty habits that no say can't have it. Do your move, but your story, but dance rapid. Deep Titanic, make the dance panic. 1 penny, 2 penny, but you can't manage. You're nasty habits that no say can't have it. Do your move, but your story, but dance rapid. Deep Titanic, make the dance panic. 1 penny, 2 penny, but you can't manage. You're nasty habits that no say can't have it. Do your move, but your story, but dance rapid. Deep Titanic, make the dance panic. 1 penny, 2 penny, but you can't manage.
Oi, TC, stop looking at them girls and do your job.
Do your move, but your story, but dance rapid.
TC and Jakes with Deep. Now this takes me back. It's one of the most iconic MC-led tunes from an incredible era of D&B. Right, are you ready for Evil B? Now this man needs no introduction at all. And I try not to fangirl too much when I'm with Evil B, but I must say I do find it difficult. Both him and X-Man were the voices of my teenage years. Growing up, loving Jump Up, it was always these two, Trigger and a handful of others that I used to love seeing in the raves. Now he's pushing the new gen of MCs with his competition who's on Smoke, which was so popular. And again, along with X, he is frontman of the very energetic, very wonderful Problem Central, and he is also a weighty name in Garage 2. He does everything with his alias B Live. So, introducing our final guest on the show today, and I must say we're ending with a bit of a bang here. Here's Evil B.
I think that was a Stamina MC quote.
Yeah.
I like it. She likes it too.
Which is very fitting. Hello, Evil B.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm alright. I'm good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Started your day off strong.
Started my day off with a thumb in the eye and a kick in the balls.
Lovely.
Which is a great way to start a Monday morning on a freezing cold floor in a gym that has condensation dripping down the walls.
Beautiful.
And lots of other grown men and women trying to kick or punch your head off.
Sounds really good.
It's fantastic.
I'm jealous.
Yeah.
Can I come next time?
Absolutely.
I'd love that.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for being here.
My pleasure.
We've got you here today because we're doing an MC special.
Okay.
And we are celebrating MC culture in drum and bass.
Yes.
So we had to pull you in on this.
Okay.
And for me, you and X-Man are like up there as my... I mean, oh my God, when I first started raving, it was you two. that were like my proper go-to MCs.
Thank you very
so
much.
for me, I was like, this is a no-brainer to get you down. So first of all, looking back at the history of drum bass MCs, how did they, yourself included, help shape the D&B scene into what it is today? Big question.
We'll start off with a small question, shall we?
Yeah.
I mean, that's an astronomical question.
We're going straight in.
I mean, look, the thing is, I feel like I'm not a historian, so I'm probably not the best to go right back to the very, very early days, because obviously I wasn't here. I was just a school kid like we all were, who managed to find themselves a jungle tape, and that jungle tape that I found had Clarky on it and Stevie Hyper D. And I heard him MCing over one of Dillinger's tunes, and all I'd ever done as a kid was listen to rap music, tried to emulate the rappers, because that's what I fell in love with, the spoken word kind of thing. So to hear someone English doing it over a sound that I'd never heard, it really, really drew me in.
Yeah.
See, this once again, I refer back to Stevie, because by the time I had fallen in love with the scene, there was already someone, along with Skibba as well, rest his soul. These were MCs that were really controlling. The people were as excited about what the MC was saying as they were about the tunes.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Where maybe prior to them, it was a bit more of an MC hosting the set, or, you know, trying to get the crowd to... I have early tapes of GQ at like Roast and Ministry, you know, saying just one line that was so powerful and moving, but not necessarily doing like a 32 bar with a sing-along lyric. Like, so there is a shift between that style of MCing, then onto Stevie, then Skibba, Shabba, and then a bit later on, me and X as kids, you know. Then obviously I went off and X stayed, and he probably shaped MC culture within drum and bass as much as the aforementioned, you know, Hyper D's and Skibbers, because he brought that attacking style.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that was a cultural thing. That was, for us, it was more to do with, I guess, what time it is on the street. So when we was kids, everyone's done gun lyrics or you know, like violent lyrics. That was just the thing that we did as kids. Half of us didn't know the meaning of the words. Most people ain't even had a punch up. But it was just seen that's what you did. Do you know what I'm saying?
So as an MC in the scene, I feel like you've probably got some good answers for this. Here we go. How do you think MC culture and talent can be better nurtured within D&B? So I like, I love what you've been doing with the, is it Up in Smoke?
Who's on Smoke?
Who's on Smoke, yeah.
So
more stuff like that, or like, is there anything else you think could be done to better nurture talent?
It's really difficult. It's better in some ways and worse in other ways. Back when we was coming up, if you wasn't from a rough area or had some kind of background to you, you just couldn't get on the mic with everyone.
Yeah.
You couldn't swing it out. There's no way. If you was from out the area, you couldn't come in and do your thing. You know, I mean, obviously, I can't speak for Bass and Trigger. They are from, you know, Birmingham and Manchester, I'm sure, but they are also big cities. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But now, like, when you look now, I mean, like, you know, TNA are one of the hottest names in the game. I believe Grammar, I'm not too sure, but I believe Grammar is from North London. But Yzer, I believe, is from Norwich.
Yeah.
Like, that's amazing to see, because he's a skilled MC and there is a place for him and he's doing very well. So it proves that, you know, it is better with the gates open to everyone. However, with the gates being open so widely, there is almost kind of no identity. MCs were always a bit dangerous. That was what was attractive about them. They were a bit rough and rugged. Now people can pretend they are rough and rugged to get themselves in the door. And that's what's poor about the culture, because we've got, God, I'm going to say an area, it's going to offend someone. I'm just going to try and think of a nice area.
Just do like a very generalised
What's a nice area?
postcode.
What's a nice area in England? What's Leamington Spa like? I don't
it's
know.
nice up there.
Is it?
Yeah,
Is it
I like
actually?
that place. Yeah, I used to live
Because
there.
I don't like, if there's a rough estate there, I don't want to offend no one.
I mean, it's got little rough parts,
Right,
but it's
okay.
nice.
I'm just trying to think. Let's make up a name.
What about
Purple Flower. Look,
Purple
there's
Flower.
Right, so let's
That's
let's say
nicer.
Purple Flower.
I like it.
In
Oxfordshire.
In Oxfordshire,
Yeah.
you know, like they have heard and listened to the culture for a long, long time, and they feel like what they need to do to be a part of it is emulate the scariness or the badness that other MCs have projected in history, or from London or from Birmingham or Manchester. I feel like that's got to be their access point. And by doing that, you're automatically diluting the goodness of what you have to offer as an individual, because now you're not an individual anymore. Now you're trying to fit in. And guess what? You're never gonna do it as well as the person who is really doing it properly. Don't copy X, man. Don't copy Yzer and Grammar. Don't copy, because what are you gonna be? A copy. That's what you'll be. So it's hard to find. What I've discovered with the competition is like, where's the individualism? Every time I do it, I'm like, who's gonna just come on and say, you know, something really weird and bizarre, because they're so confident in their personality. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, totally.
You go on a date with someone, I'm sure you'll agree that anyone that you've dated, the best dates you've ever had are with someone who's charismatic, who's like unapologetic, bit weird, or like, but comfortable being weird, like just comfortable being weird. It's much more attractive than someone who's come in and tried to do like, yo, you know, hey, like, fuck off. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I totally agree with that.
And I believe it's the same around. It's the same around all art, all art, production, painting, whatever it is. It's like, be unapologetically yourself, and take time, obviously, because you'll get a lot of doors slammed in your face, but eventually you'll find your mojo. Where if you're just copying like Da Vinci with every single piece you do, you're just going to be a second, third rate, fourth rate Da Vinci. No one cares about that. So
I think that's important advice for people to hear, because I think people do automatically assume they have to be like, I don't know, a bit rough, and like, I don't know exactly what you described.
You know, it's also a male like, there's another conversation about you know, toxic masculinity involved in this as well, because it is, and I've seen many people like do all of this stuff and then get pressed, and then their life falls apart, and the mental health starts to struggle. Do you know what I'm saying? And sometimes they have to go through it to find themselves. Do you know what I'm saying? I mean, I've been to hell and back a number of times, but I definitely believe I'd much rather hear Nutcracker shouting out, "Let me sex in, keep my socks on, let me sex in," than someone going, you know, trying to do Az's flow, or trying to do X-Man's flow. Like,
just
bro,
leave it to them.
Say something out there.
You
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it's much more enjoyable. Why do you think Bassman is like still to this day so loved after?
Yeah, I know.
Like, because he say some mad, like,
some ridiculous. Some ridiculous.
Is that a bird? Shoot that motherfucker. When the first time I heard him say that, I immediately thought, this guy is my favourite MC. Because I don't have to try and break down what he's doing technologically, you know, he's done that, but he's just in the moment doing this. And same for Trigger, same for all of the big ones. All of the big MCs, they've all got their, like, take a look around, up and coming MCs, look around. All your favourite MCs don't sound like the other MC coming on after them. I don't sound like X, I don't sound like Shabba, I don't sound like Skibba, I don't sound like Spider, I don't sound like none of them. And none of them sound like the other person.
Yeah, it's
true.
But
when you go through the up and coming ranks, you'll find hundreds that sound like somebody else.
That's so true.
Big facts.
So obviously we're celebrating great MCs far and wide, both those that are with us and people that we've lost along the way. Something I want to do with this show is give people their flowers whilst they're here. You know, I want to hear MCs big up other MCs. Can you tell me another MC or another few MCs that inspire you in the scene, and why?
Okay, well, as far as skill goes, I don't really get too inspired. I do get inspired by work rate. Harry Shotta's work rate, incredible work rate. To be inspired by another MC might mean it might bleed into my creativity, where I think, wow, what they just did is so good, I need to do something like that. I don't work like that. There are MCs who might hear a new flow and think, wow, that was really inspirational. I'm gonna take it, shuffle it a little bit, and make it mine. I think that's a whack way of doing things, and I hear it all the time. But I think that if I had flowers right now, I'd like to give them to Spider.
I like that.
Like Spider, man, he's been here with the greats for all of this time. He's had high moments, low moments, SDC. Have you seen him now? when he comes out with his gang and he is enjoying life.
Yeah.
He's jumping around on stage, and guess what? He's got 5,000 kids, 18 years old, singing along to his bars. That is the award in life. It's not growing old with your audience, it's managing to tap into the new ones that are coming through. He's done that. I love what bass layers are doing. Slips, all of it as well, like Slips, Bomber and Spider, their energy is beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a good, clean-hearted energy.
Yeah.
So I'd definitely like to see Spider get his flowers.
Lovely.
Shabba should have had his flowers 15 years ago, triggered. You know, like all of these lot.
Yeah.
All of these lot.
The show is dedicated to Skibadee, who we very sadly lost this time last year.
Yeah.
How did Skibba inspire you, and do you have any memories of him, or a memory that just stands out that you can share with us?
Mine and Skibba's relationship is a bit techie, to be honest with you. I wouldn't go as far to say that we were friends. We were colleagues. We didn't have each other's phone number. We didn't do phone calls, but we always had very much a respect. So I grew up listening to Skibba. So he was already, before I even met him later on, he was God to me.
Yeah.
You know, it was, even though Stevie was my favourite, Skibba was in the conversation. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He was the Dizzy Rascal of my era. I remember when he came through, all of us was going mad for him. So obviously later on down the line, you know, I ended up meeting him and going back to back with him. I remember the first time I was going back to back with him, thinking in my mind, hold on a minute, you're going, are you actually, what are you doing? Put the mic down, get off the stage. What are you doing? You're actually going back to back with Skibadee right now. Do you know, like, gassed. But, you know, then maybe a little bit of poor advice from someone kind of led to me doing a birthday bash at the set. I didn't realise how techie it is in drum and bass, by the way. You know what I'm saying? I'd been doing Garrett, it wasn't like this. Do you know what I'm saying? And someone said, my birthday's in January, Skibba's was early February, I believe. And I put an event on, even though it was far out of London, kind of clashed with his date. Then it made the relationship a little bit techie. But that didn't go on for a great amount of time, 3 or 4 years, and then we just chopped it up one day and it was all good. And he showed love. He showed love, and I showed love every time I saw him, to a point where my last conversation with him, thank God I got it in, I'm so happy I have it, was him coming on Who's on Smoke to give advice to some of the, but we had this transference where I got to say, you know, talking to one of the greatest of all time now, if not the greatest of all time. Probably is the greatest drum and bass MC of all time. When you close the books, there will be names mentioned, but it's probably going to be Skibba.
All right, James, Evil B, here at the Halley with me, Laurie C.
Wow.
I know I was practicing earlier.
Okay. Wait, you rehearsed that?
Yeah.
Could you do it again, one more time, without looking at the screen?
Yes, Evil B, here at the Halley with me, Laurie C. Yes, that's it.
Wow. Just folded at the end, but it was good.
At 10? 9, thank you. Okay, last but not least, do you have any final advice for up and coming MCs? What would you say to someone if they were like, I want to be an MC?
A question that we get asked all of the time.
I know, but have to have
what
it.
What have I got to do? What's the cheat code? Guess what? There isn't one. There's no cheat code at all.
That's what I wanted. Thank you, James.
Pleasure, Laurie.
It's a problem central, yeah, it's official. Warhead, nuclear missile. We put out the first video and man pretended the eyes weren't working. Front the night they couldn't see our visual. But blood, you and I know you watched it, panicking, caught in a pickle. That's why you didn't want to acknowledge it. Cool, now it's reciprocal. No problem, it's a problem. Problem central, popping off on Skiddle. So much shows, anyone at the top prepared to move to the middle. Know your role, let's keep this civil. When I look around, these men are all clowns, and if you ask me, yeah, man, are so trivial. Bang, I start letting off pals like Bizzle. These men are high, buzzing off Bizzle. Won't catch me working with the general, using my name so they can get fame and climb up the chain like they're invincible. You're not invincible, man, I get dark and switch on them all. Never to trust to nobody. Anybody who's latching onto my style is a wally. A body MC right now with a body of fresh material. Let's get grotty. Hit the target so pump with a volley. I'm the blueprint, you're a carbon copy.
Wait, yo, I'm working MC as a part-time hobby. Bigger than me, no way, but if that's the case, I'm your slinger, lick down Goliath. Forward with me, go ask your advisors. Whenever I shell, I bring hell, there won't be survivors. Masked up with a stainless, so you're brainless. Lyrically, I'm like Michael Myers. They're suffering from Alzheimer's, mad. It coming like they forget. I'm old school, something like Yzer X. I've been around since DDK cassettes. Man get butt like an 8 for cess. Anytime I touch, they're laid to rest. I'm colder. The one-man soldier company, owner, MC, promoter, top of the road. Yeah, got a call from an agent asking us if the team's vacant. Blood, that was in March. It's mental how things are moving fast. I look in the diary. Crikey, Jesus Lord Almighty, thank God there's so much in store. Can't wait till we start the UK tour. Shut down Manchester, was raw. Soon come SW4, near Jam Sequence Festival. We're made after party with so much more. Bournemouth, London, Brighton, Derby. Few days signed up overseas. 28 minutes to warm up, here is the takeoff fighting. 2019 is a problem.
My phone rang and it was X on the phone. He started speaking, he was all higher in tone. Excitement's got him in the zone. I'm trying to break down his sentence like a lifer who's scared of frying and trying to get home. I lost reception like the hotel is a maze. Dropped the connection, reconnected, and then I heard him say, it's time for the takeover. And that's cold, forget the semi-automatic mics with the handles with the black tape over. Had a meeting in Costa, ordered the banoffee where my agent showed me the roster. That's a lot of shows, I'm gonna need some calories. I can't paint you a picture, I need a gallery. Shout out to Valerie who dumped me in year 11, cause her mum said me and mine was all peasants. I saw her last week when I was in my whip. 6 minutes later, she's sucking some half of what I'm saying goes over your head. The other half will hit your body and legs. Problem Central is the city I was born in. I put my hands upon the book and then I swore in. It's either all or nothing until we get the treasure. I ain't a ruler of this game, but I got the measure. I ain't a ruler of this stage, but I got a long scope with a long nose. It's not unusual for me to hit you, I'm Tom Jones. Tick-tocking, who's watching? I don't bears, cause I sold out shows and I'm out of cares. Man got tired, but I never run flat, cause I grew up in a place with no stairs. They stand up in the dance and screw you, man, about as hard as my things on bugle. What do you reckon, man? Hedge your bet, beef with vegans is something that we will never sweat. Problems.
Yes, people, it's Don Martin here, and right about now you're locked into the sounds of Laurie Charlesworth. No, is that right?
I swear they can't. So they wanna try to do it like me, finna blow right down to the ground. And he go from fully on man, but tell him I don't be alarmed. Cause they got a new thing in Sweden, got another thing down in France. Do it like me, I swear they can't. So they wanna try to do it like me, finna blow right down to the ground. And he go from fully on man, but tell him I don't be alarmed. Cause they got a new thing in Sweden, got another thing down in France.
My teenage boys are the realest ones. Man, it's so fly, might burst to the planes of the Phoenix one. And I still got cats like Williams, right now I'm in the Venus one. So they liked her a bit, but I had to let it call me the Jar Felix one. Cold like Snowman, they wanna be this one. John to the flow, coming to go, they can't defeat this one. And it's so cold like Jon Snow up in the valley on a Swedish one. Stepped into the big leagues and I pulled them stream to the Jack Grealish one. Real grease man on cam and I step in a rape, that's messy. Got a new ting called Frankie, telling me she wants the youngest all techie. Told an Italian ting that I'll be right back, Zanetti. Then she with that loose man style, my name is Kamari, more than barely. Enough man wants silent me, just reflects they're not ready. When the pressure's on, then the wall man better stand firm and steady. Firm and steady, still hurting like P like Eddie. Shouting technique with my hood up like who killed Penny.
Do it like me, I swear they can't. So they wanna try to do it like me, finna blow right down to the ground. And he go from fully on man, but tell him I don't be alarmed. Cause they got a new thing in Sweden, got another thing down in France. Do it like me, I swear they can't. So they wanna try to do it like me, finna blow right down to the ground. And he go from fully on man, but tell him I don't be alarmed. Cause they got a new thing in Sweden, got another thing down in France.
Them men wanna do it like me, but they ain't got a swagger. I move it like Heskey with a new face to the Mo Salah. Mumble double time bars and boot cut jeans, your swagger. Crescents and flow come like they're selling off raves to Gabba. Rip in the manor. TNA North London branch out here, I'm raising a banner. Slow flow on my left, fast one on my right, my axe and hammer. See me when there ain't no slacker. Got shows from Beeford to Napa. Don't let it go to your head, rude boy, you're getting too big for your boots. Pull up your socks and put in the grass, stop thinking the world owes you. Me and you ain't the same, different genes, different brains. I come to collect the belts, you came here looking for fame. Got a banger from Beans, but I don't know who the track suits. I sent it to Yzer, and we planned it over a fat zoo. We up the level, so none of them man can match it. Flow so cold, the half of the game are trying to jack it. You didn't even clock them one.
Do it like me, I swear they can't. So they're gonna try to do it like me, but they blow right down to the ground. And he go from Swilly on man, but tell him I don't be alarmed. Cause I got a new thing in Sweden, got another thing down in France. Do it like me, I swear they can't. So they're gonna try to do it like me, but they blow right down to the ground. And he go from Swilly on man, but tell him I don't be alarmed. Cause I got a new thing in Sweden, got another thing down in France.
And of course, we had to include this pair, Yzer and Grimer. Two of the biggest MCs coming through, making their mark on the scene, particularly in the last sort of 5-6 years. They've got a really slick, wicked style, representing TNA and New Age, a collective of unreal talent in the scene. DJs include T.I., who I love, New Elements, and Dominator, who very sadly passed away back in 2017. I love what these guys do. I think they're wicked. So yeah, big up. Okay, and that's it. Big love to everybody involved in this episode. It was a bit of a beast to put together this one. And of course, big love to every single last MC in the D&B scene. That is what this is all about. Thank you for bringing the energy, the vibes, the creativity, the passion each and every time. The drum and bass scene would not be the same without you. It is as simple as that. You're all amazing. And of course, thank you to all the brilliant MCs who gave me their precious time to have a little chinwag on this episode. And last but not least, rest in peace, Skibadee, Stormin, Stevie Hyper D, and all of the artists that we very sadly lost along the way. Your work and your legacy will forever live on through this music. Now remember, you can now go and listen to Drum and Bass Radio on basically every single platform on planet Earth, including Apple Music, YouTube, Spotify, of course, Alexa, Amazon. We want this show to be spread far and wide, and we want to make it accessible for everybody to enjoy. So yeah, go check it out. Don't worry, we'll be back in 2 weeks' time doing this all again. Yes, we will. My name is Laurie Charlesworth. It's been lovely as always, and I'll see you then.
Hey, this is Danny Bird.
Hey, this is Boo.
Hey guys, a little sound here.
Hey yo, you know it is. It's your boy X, man. You're locked into Drum and Bass Radio.
This is Mosey.
This is Shotta Haining.
This is DJ Hi. You're listening to the great Laurie Charlesworth on Drum and Bass Radio. Keep it locked.